Hi friends, welcome back. Today we're talking about finding the volume of prisms and cylinders. Here's the formula that you'll need. You're going to want to pause the video, write that down, and then we're going to talk about how to make this make sense. So the first thing that we're going to do is talk about, and disregard the number order for these. I want to jump around a bit so that it makes it a little easier. Okay, so the formula for our prisms and cylinders is volume equals the base area of the base times the height. Remember, if it's capitalized like that, it means the area of the base. So in this case, we have to pick what is going to be our base because it's a rectangular prism. I think the easiest way to do this is going to be, let's say this guy right here, this 6x3 rectangle, and this 6x3 rectangle here. Okay, so in order to find the area of the base, it's 6x3 and it's a rectangle, so 6x3 is going to give us 18. So we get 18 meters squared for the area of the base. Now we have to multiply it by the height, and this is where you have to be careful. Remember, your height is what connects your two bases. So in this case, our height is this thing right here, 7 meters. So we'll say, okay, our height is 7 meters. So now when we take a look at this and we say 18 times 7, we get volume equals 126, and meters squared times meters gives us meters cubed, because when we're talking about volume, we're talking about everything that fits inside there, and so we cube it. So let's try another one of those. This again is a rectangular prism, so we're going to find the volume equals the area of the base times it by the height. So if we look at our base here, and the base is not always on the ground. Let's, in this case, because it's rectangular, we can choose a couple different bases. This base, we're going to say that this guy over here is our base. You'll see that it is a 9x10 rectangle there. So the area of the base is 9x10, which gives us our area for that rectangle. But then the height is what connects our two bases. So if our other base is over here, 9x10, the height this time is going to be what connects them, which is 11. So we take 9 times 10 and we multiply that guy by 11. So we have volume equals 90 times 11, which means our volume is 990. We're talking kilometers, so kilometers cubed. So that would be our volume. Now let's talk about some of these that are not rectangular prisms. If you look down here, we have a triangular prism. And how do I know that this is a triangular prism? Because you look for the shapes that are not rectangles. I do have 3 rectangles on here on the sides, right? But on the top and the bottom, I have a triangle. So it's a triangular prism. So what we have to do is find the volume is the area of the base times the height. Well, in this case, our base is a triangle. I'm going to redraw that triangle like this. It is a right triangle, and it's 6, 8, and then my hypotenuse is 10. So 6, 8, and 10. So remember, to find the area of a triangle, we do the base times the height, and then we cut it in half. We divide by 2. So the volume is going to be, and when I say that we do for the area of the base of a triangle, we do the base times the height. Those have to make a right angle. So we say 4 times 6, and then, or I'm sorry, 8 times 6, I don't know why I said 4, 8 times 6, and then divide that by 2. That will give us the area of this triangle here. We need to, whatever that number is, we need to multiply it by the height of our 3D object, and our height connects our two bases. Can't say that enough. That is that 7 right there. So we're gonna multiply that by 7. So divide this by 2, we get 1. Divide this by 2, we get 3. 8 times 3 is 24, so we have 24 times 7, we're talking feet. So if we've got 24 times 7, that gives us 168. So our volume is 168 feet cubed because we're talking volume, okay? So let's talk about another one that might be a little bit different. Here we have a trapezoidal prism because we can see that there are 2 sides that are not rectangles. They are trapezoids. So here's my trapezoid right here. And then my other trapezoid is in the back there, and they are connected by this 10 yards. They're connected by that 10 yards. So again, our volume equals the area of the base times the height. Now, if you remember, to find the area of a trapezoid, we add the base 1 plus base 2, divide by 2, Whatever that number is, we multiply by the height, and that height has to make a 90-degree angle. So in this case, we're going to say the volume is base 1 is 6, and then up here is 10. So 6 plus 10 divided by 2. Multiply that by the height of the trapezoid itself, which is 5.7. Don't get confused with this height here because I'm still just trying to find the base. This is all just the base information, right? So I'm finding the area of the base. If it helps, you can draw a trapezoid out so that you feel, okay, I'm finding the area of this. Now, once I find the area of the base, I'm going to multiply that times the actual height of the 3D object, which we established is 10. Okay, so I have 6 plus 10 is 16. Divided by 2, that's going to be 8. So I get 8 times 5.7. I'm going to use some parentheses so that dot doesn't get confusing. And then multiply it by the height, which is 10. So 8 times 5.7, we get 45.6, and we multiply that by 10. We end up with a volume of 456, and we go back, look at our units, yards cubed. Move that over a little bit, yards cubed. So again, remember, don't be confused of height in the actual base formula, the area of the base formula. The height is what's connecting those two bases together. Okay, let's do one more triangular prism. And this one's a wonky one. Oh, look, we got a right triangle there. So the triangle, we've got area of the base times the height, right? Use a different color here. So we look at the base and it is a triangle. And so the triangle is 3, 4, and 5. So I have it looking like this. It is 3, 4, and 5. And there's a right angle right in there if you see that. So to find the area of the triangle, I multiply the base times the height. That gives me 12. And then I cut it in half, which is 2. Or 12 divided by 2, which is 6. So our volume is 6 feet squared, because that's the area of the base, right? That's this thing, times the height of the actual 3D object. Don't go back down here and say, oh, the height is 4. No, no, no. Remember, the height is what connects your two bases. That's this thing right here. That's 1 foot. So the height is 1 foot. So we have 6 times 1 gives us 6. Feet squared times feet gives us feet to the third. Okay, so let's pause. Shoot, I knew I was forgetting something. We got to talk about cylinders. Same thing, volume equals the area of the base times the height. But you have to ask yourself, how do I find the area of, so in this case, the base is a circle. How do I find the area of a circle? So the volume equals, the area of a circle, remember, is radius squared times pi. So in this case, our radius is 10. Our diameter is 20, so you got to cut that in half. So our area is 10 squared times pi. So that's 100 pi. Cool, so the area of the base is 100 pi. The height of my cylinder, which connects my two bases right here, is 8. So times 8. So the volume of this is 100 times 8 is 800 pi, and we're talking about centimeters. Centimeters cubed. Now, if you want, you can multiply 800 times pi, use your pi button on your calculator, but this is a much more accurate answer, and so you'll probably want to leave it just like that. Okay, hopefully this helps you find volume of these, and we'll see you next time.